everyone, I am Joy Nelson and my YouTube channel is Stamp with Joy - Cards and Crafting with Joy Nelson. You can also find me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/stampwithjoynelson. My website is stampwithjoy.stampinup.net, and today I'm going to show you a very quick and simple card. I needed one for my nephew who's getting married this weekend, so I decided to use the Happy Birthday to You stamp set, which is part of the current celebration rewards that started on January 3rd. It is in the celebration brochure. I'm also, for the inside, I put wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. So that would be great for the wedding. It would also be great for a birthday. So the inside sentiment is from the Peaceful Moments stamp set, which is part of the offering in the new January through June mini catalog. So let's get started. First I'm going to show you the items that I used. The Happy Birthday to You, which is a celebration reward. The Peaceful Moments stamp set, which is in the January to June 2020 mini catalog. I am using Seaside Spray cardstock, a 4" by 5 1/4" pieces. Night of Navy, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and is folded to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My ink pads are Night of Navy, Whisper White, Seaside Spray. I will also be using the Stampin' Blends, the Seaside Spray Light and Dark, Soft Seafoam Light and Dark, Night of Navy Light, Smoky Slate Light, and embellishments, the basic Jewels Rhinestones. First, let me pull out a piece of the 4" by 5 1/4" Seaside Spray and the large birthday cake stamp from the Happy Birthday to You set. My Night of Navy pad. With my large stamps, I like to put my stamp on the table and then ink it from that direction. You just need light tapping. You don't need to press very hard. And I'm going to stamp that in the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to use firm, even pressure and walk my stamp around so that I get all those images. And then I'm going to lift off. So I'm also going to be using the white craft ink pad with this small kind of speckled stamp. Just kind of lightly tap on that, don't press too hard, and put some of those in the upper left corner. I'm going to follow that with some with the same stamp in the Seaside Spray, but first I have to clean my stamp off. I'm using my Stampin' Chamois, which, as you can see, it's well used, but that ink I've rinsed the ink out from before and it will not transfer onto my stamp. So again, light, just tap, 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 and kind of go over but offset a little bit. And kind of turn your stamp as you go. So just gives it a nice little embellishment in that left hand corner. So I'm also going to take my Stampin' Sponge, which I've cut into a 1/4 size piece, and the Seaside Spray ink. I'm going to get that inked on the edge, and just perpendicularly I'm going to stamp around the edge. I've already done 2 sides, so I'm just going to do the remaining 2. So get that good. That just softens the edge a little bit. I like to close my ink pads right after I use them. So now I'm bringing out my Stampin' Blends and just kind of laid them on the table there. So I'm going to use my dark Seaside Spray. And if you hear a little noise up above me, it's because my neighbors are doing some home improvement. So hopefully you won't hear too much of that. So I'm just going to take with the pointed brush tip and do the center of the flowers, and then any other place that has just kind of some shade, natural shading in the stamp. So also you want to make sure that you keep your caps on your Stampin' Blends markers. And then I'm just doing kind of little touches. I'm not going to color it all the way in. Just kind of around the edge here, give it a little definition. So now I'm going to take my dark soft seafoam, and I'm going to use the bullet tip, the finer tip, for this. Just go over the veins of my leaves. Then I'm going to come back in with the light soft seafoam, and you may have just heard my dog kind of shaking at her collar a little bit. Hopefully that's not too distracting with this video. Okay, and just on these up here, just a little tiny bit in these leaves up here. I'm also going to take my light Night of Navy, and again that finer bullet tip. And just kind of give a little bit of touches on those berries. Just a hint of color. Then with my Smoky Slate this bullet tip again, I'm going to do a little bit on this cake plate and a little bit down here to go over the lines a little bit. Come back with my light Seaside Spray, and I'm going to give this a little bit of shadow underneath this cake plate so that it doesn't look like it's floating in midair, and a little bit of shadow around the side of my cake image. So it gives a little bit of definition. So I'm not going to have you watch me do all of that coloring. So now, with the magic of video, you can see that I have fully colored in this image. And I'm going to set that aside and bring in my half sheet of 8.5 by 11 that I have scored at 4¼ inches in the center. I'm going to get my Stampin' Dimensionals. I love Stampin' Dimensionals. I love giving things a little extra dimension. So I'm going to put one in each corner. One in the middle, and one on each side, so that pops up that image very nicely. peel the papers off, throw those aside. Get all of those off, all the papers off, so it'll be nice and sticky. So I've cut my Seaside spray paper a 1/4 inch smaller so that I'll give it a nice little border there. So now I'm going to put that aside and work on the inside of my card. Bring my Night of Navy ink back and my wishing you every happiness this special day will bring stamp. This one I'm going to bring my stamp to the ink pad, but again, a very light tapping. You do not want to smush that stamp into your pad because you will get a halo, or what they like to call stamping garbage. Close up my ink pad, come back and do the same thing with the little splatter stamp that I did on the front of the card. So just a couple of little stamps, and maybe a little one down here. Fill up some of that, little bit of that blank space. So blank space is not bad. You don't want to fill up every inch of it. So opening my Seaside spray again to stamp on top of it, giving the white ink a little more definition. Creates a nice shadow effect. I'm going to glue my inside into my card using a little bit of this Tombow liquid multi-purpose glue. Just a thin amount close to the edge. You don't want to get it too close to the edge because it does tend to ooze a little bit. So that is going to go in the inside of my card. Smooth it down. And now we will add our rhinestone embellishments. So, sorry about the noise of my opening the package. I'm going to use my paper snips to get the rhinestones off of the sheet. So I'm using the medium-sized rhinestones to put in the center of my flowers. And then I just want a couple of the smallest rhinestones to give just a little more bling. Bling can be very fun. So there you have it. A very quick, very simple, very easy card that you will be proud to give to anyone. Again, my YouTube channel is Stamp with Joy - Cards and Crafting with Joy Nelson. If you subscribe to my channel and leave a comment, I will send you a handmade card in the mail. I will get in contact with you and find your information, and I will send that to you. So my Facebook page is Stamp with Joy Nelson. My website is stampwithjoy.stampinup.net, and again my YouTube channel is Stamp with Joy - Cards and Crafting with Joy Nelson. Until next time, bye.